Welcome to the woods. Second video this week. But I've got a little bit of time. Sun shining. So I thought I'm going to have a quick chat with you about something that happened 3 days ago that made me happy. Whilst browsing the internet, I came across a short talk by Neil Oliver. And many of you will know who he is. Nowadays he's a social commentator. He's been very anti-lockdown, anti-vaccine over the past 2 years. Intelligent guy. Did a TV series called The Coast. Travelled around the coastline of the UK, an episode each week, talking about the history of the place he was in. Brilliant series. And in this short talk 3 days ago, he talked about how the current regime needs the population to be docile, unable of critical thinking, how they're achieving this, and the reason why they need people docile, which is obviously to control them. Now, I realise many people think that Neil Oliver will only take us so far, and that's true. His audience is mainstream. So what he says needs to be tempered. But he has managed to reach a very large audience and move the Overton window further in our direction. And for that, he should be applauded. Anyway, at the end of this short talk, he closed it with a sentence that I've jotted down, so I'll read it to you. He says, "Quite frankly, I think we need to start again with alternative societies and alternative communities, starting again because there are still enough of us that know the way things are better done." I agree wholeheartedly. It's something I've been advocating for over the last 2 years. I see an alternative society as probably our best hope. As we have no power, it's very difficult to change a system that quite obviously wants to protect itself. And as we can't fight it, I've suggested that we build our own. It's something I've managed to do in my own personal life by going off grid, taking back more control of my life and reducing my dependence upon the system. Makes it much easier for me to push back against it. It's difficult to fight something that you're reliant on. And I've covered this in previous videos. But the reason that closing statement by someone in the mainstream is important is that I think it points to the fact that the system itself understands that it's never going to be able to control all of us, that there are going to be large groups of people that want something different. And maybe the easiest way would be to let us do it, to let us go our own way. That is a big plus. That's an ace for us, because if that system is going to allow us, then it means we can build something better, that it wouldn't be stamped on, that it would be allowed to flourish. And I think that the fact that it is now in the mainstream, that the idea is being talked about, is tentative to them allowing it. And I think that over the next months, more and more people will start talking about this subject, that an alternative society and alternative communities could be the way forward for us. I touched on it briefly in my 2 videos ago when I was talking about localism. Small groups, and you can grow to a certain extent and then start another group. Once you've got it working well, simply duplicate it. So as I've asked in the past, and so many of you were really good at sharing my content on social media, if you've got different social media accounts, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, share this video. There's nothing in it that people can take offence at. But let's get more people interested, thinking about and talking about the idea of an alternative to the system. Alternative societies, alternative communities. The reason this channel exists was to encourage that idea, to show people that it can be done on an individual basis, and if one person can do it, then so can a group. And although there are inherent problems when it comes to larger numbers, that's not something that can't be overcome. So here's to the future. Have a great day, you lot. Share this one around.